Hi everyone. Today we are going to be finishing up the Blender Christmas tutorial series. I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. Let's go ahead and jump in and get started. And you'll see that it looks like we're getting a lot of fireflies here and here, but you got to remember it's only 10 samples also, and you could also go back in and you could turn down your clamp to about 3 if you'd like. We'll do a test render here pretty soon as we get the snowman in here and stuff like that. So we're going to go back to solid, and then let's go, let's go Q, and then top. And then, actually, let's just free in here. Let's go over here, and let's press Shift, and let's turn off this layer with that tree. Let's press Shift and turn on our snowman layer. And he's right there. Let's go ahead and we're just going to shifty him, and then we're going to go Q top, and then we're just going to grab him and we're going to set him right here, and let's just press circle on our number keypad or go into Q, and let's scale him down super small, and then let's rotate on the Z axis, and let's have him looking at the camera. Bring him up on the Z axis, and then let's see, grab Y, bring him a little bit forward, grab X, grab Y. I'm pressing G, by the way, and then let's bring him down all the way into the snow there, just a tad bit, and then we could go ahead and press Shift and turn. Oops, sorry. We'll go ahead and we'll just leave him out here for now. And then we'll shifty him, and we'll add him, just press G and then Y, and then we'll add him way up here, G and then X, move him, R for rotate, and then Z, and then let's rotate him toward the camera, and let's pull him down, and then G, and then Y, let's pull him back, and G, and Z, and let's just move him up until he sits in the snow there. And all I'm doing is I'm just pressing Shift D and duplicating him, and then pressing Y, and I'm going to move him all the way back up here, and then G, and then Z, and then moving him up, and I'm just going to Shift D. I'm just going to move him around. I'm not going to make a particle system for him, R and then Z. You can if you wanted to, and then go ahead and make you a vertex group and stuff, and then put them in the density. Oops, Z. Let's go ahead and press N and take off lock camera to the view, and press N again and close that. And then let's come back over here. Let's make sure he's all the way down in the ground. Rotate Z just a tad bit. Q. Let's go back into the camera. You can't even see him over there, so let's G and then Y and move him back, and then move him back up, and then rotate on Z, looking towards us some more. Make sure he's just in there just a tad bit, and then we can go Shift D and grab, and then Y, and G, and then X. I say grab, I don't, which that's what G stands for. So R and then Z, and have him looking at you. Then let's press Z, and then let's go to render and see how this looks. And that's looking pretty good. Our aperture or our blur, it might be a little bit too much. So let's go to 0.5 now. Let's check that out. Maybe even a 0.6. 0.6. And then let's press Z, solid. Let's save our project. I'm pressing Control S to save. And then let's come over here, and then let's go and our render samples. Let's just do 75 and make it real quick. and all that's fine. And I'm going to bring out this window a little bit over here and make sure that we're in the UV image editor over here. Click off of that, and let's go ahead and press F12 to render. And let's see how that looks. I'm going to press Shift and Spacebar to full screen that. Yeah, I know I didn't get the clouds in there, and I just wanted to do a real quick render here and see how the aperture and stuff, even if it's a super bad one, I wanted to see how these trees looked also. So we can probably bring it back down because I wanted the aperture, like I said, the blur, whatever you want to call it. I want it to be kind of subtle. I don't want it to be too strong. So we're going to go back and we're going to go back into the camera, and we are going to drop that back down to, let's do 0.465. Okay, well, I went back to 0.4. Let's go press Z and then rendered. And that will probably be all right. So let's go to solid. And let's click back on this plane. And you could come back over here and to your particle system. And you can go ahead and come all the way up here, which we'll just hold down Control and we'll click to close all of those. And this emission up here, the number, so we could bring this up, I don't know, you could bring this up to 5,000 if you'd like. And now you see you get a whole bunch more trees in there. And that is totally up to you on how many trees you want in there. I'm going to leave this back down to 1,000 on mine though for now. Let's see here. What else do we need to do? We need to make one more particle system, and we need to do a little bit of sculpting, and I think that would be it. So let's go ahead and close this window a little bit, and let's go ahead and go to Q and top mode. Let's click on this plane, and let's go over here. We got the displacement, and let's see, is that the way I want it? Yep, we're going to apply the displacement on there. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and press Shift A, and let's go add a mesh, and we're going to add another plane, and we're going to pull it way up here, and we're going to scale it. And kind of move it into place, and it don't need to be, well, yeah, it does. And scale X tad bit, scale Y a little bit. Let's bring that over there. And here's our clouds. Straight Alt H. Bring that light back. We want to make sure that scale on the Y. Oh, I've also selected scale on the Y. Let's bring this back. Let's bring this forward here. And we're going to scale this back down. X, scale Y. Tad bit. Alrighty, and now we are going to move to another layer, and we're going to go Q, and we're going to go to front, And we are going to press Shift S, and we're going to go to others, and we're going to go cursor to center. Zoom way in here. Press Shift A, mesh, and we're going to add a UV sphere. We're going to press T, and we are going to bring down the segments to 16. And we are going to set it on smooth shading. There is a add-on that you need to add on, and let's go to enabled. And it is the extra, it's the add mesh extra objects. So if you go to add mesh, it's the extra objects. Just click on it to turn it on. And what that does is when you go into add and you go to your mesh, so you'll see that you get all kinds more stuff. And we want to go to the curves, and it adds spirals. And let's see, trying to see if I can't see this curve. Let's go ahead and bring this up just a little bit. And curve type 1 turns. We're gonna bring this up. Let's see. Yeah, 4 is fine. And we are going to go over here to the curve settings now, and we're going to go to fill full. We want to fill it full, and we're going to extrude it a little bit. And we're going to give it a little bit of depth. We're going to extrude it some more. About there. Maybe a little bit more depth. And we're going to add some resolution to it. So let's go 3. And yeah, that should do. And we're going to scale it up just a tad bit to get it out of the mesh. Yeah, that looks good. And then we are going to go ahead and bring this window back open over here, and we're going to change this to the node editor, and we're going to add a new material, and we're just going to call this spiral, just like that. And we're going to leave the diffuse. We're going to Shift A, and we're going to put in a shader, a mixed shader, so we can mix these two shaders. Shift A, add another shader, which is a glossy shader, and the glossy gives it reflections and glossiness. So we're going to plug in the glossy to the bottom, and we are going to give it a roughness of 0.1, and we are going to change the color to, I don't know, we could do kind of like pink. So let's go Z rendered. So we got a pink color going on here, and we'll give it smooth shading also. Then we're going to click on this ball here, and we're going to give it a new, and we're going to call this ornament. And we're going to do pretty much the same. Shift A, shader, mix shader, Shift A, shader, glossy shader, and add those in there. But we are also, let's change the color so we'll have something cool to look at. Let's do like kind of, maybe this light blue here. We're going to Shift A, and we are going to add a input, a Fresnel, and we are going to turn the IOR to 1.31, which that's the IOR for 1.31 is ice, I believe. And then we are going to Shift D, this mix shader, and we are going to Shift A, and we are going to add a glass shader here at the bottom. And we are going to turn the IOR to 1.31 also. And then we are going to Shift A, add another shader, a translucent shader, and we are going to put this into the factor. Just like that. And on this glossy, let's see, I don't remember what I had it on. I think I had it on 0.1 0.01, I believe, to make it more glossy. Yeah, that looks about right. Maybe let's go 0.015. And that looks good to me. So what we got here is, just move these over so you guys can see. And let me press Z solid. Let me scroll in here. So we got a Fresnel here with the IOR of 1.31, which is ice. We have just our diffuse shader, which is what gives us our color. And we got our glossy, which gives us our reflections and stuff. Which are reflections, or specular, all that good stuff. We got a translucent, which translucency is, it's not completely transparent, but it's not completely solid either. Almost everything has translucency. Our skin has it, tree leaves has it, grass has it. So I added that instead of a transparent shader, because normally I would add a glass and then a transparent shader. But this time I did not want this to be completely transparent. So I added a translucency, and I wanted to use this translucency as the factor for this shader to be shared between these and this glass shader. So I'm using a translucent for the factor of that, which is basically the strength can't talk, the strength of this. And then I'm using a mix shader here so I could mix the diffuse and the glossy together, and I used this Fresnel with the IOR of ice as the factor to mix these two together. And then, and then all these are being mixed with this glass, and then the translucency is for the factor. So we are going to go ahead and close this back down, and Z rendered. This looks pretty cool, and it looks pretty nice and stuff like that. So we're going to press Z solid, and now we are going to press back on this curve, and we're going to press Alt C, and we are going to turn it into mesh, just like that. And we're going to shift select on this ornament, or the ball here, and we are going to press Control J, and we are going to join them both together. I see the little cross here that I was looking for now. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and press Shift D and bring this here, and then Shift D, bring one here, and then Shift D and bring one over here. And all we're going to do now is we're just going to go through and we are going to change the colors on the materials. So for the ornament color on this one, we're just going to press this 4 to make it its own material. And we are going to go ahead and come in here to our nodes, and let's just change the color to, maybe let's go red. And then our spiral, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make it its own, and let's change it from pink to maybe green, just like that. And then let's go to this one, and let's do the same thing, the ornament. Let's make it its own, and let's maybe give it, let's say, like purple. And then let's click on the spiral, press the 3 down here, make it its own. So we got purple. Maybe let's go for this kind of greenish color. And then let's click back here, and then press the 2, and let's make one maybe, I don't know, yellowish orange. And then let's go to the spiral, make it its own, click on the color, and let's turn this to a blue, just like that. And then that's all you have to do. And now you change the colors for these. So if I press Z and then rendered, you'll see that they all got their own different colors. And these are kind of ornaments. I'm not going to add the top attachment and stuff because you're not going to see them too much. And I kind of wanted to keep these low poly, but as you can see, there's not super low poly. So let's go Z and let's go to solid, just like that. And then let's go ahead and shift click all of these. And then let's press Control G and make them a group. And let's change the name to Ornaments. Press enter, just like that. And let's go ahead and press T, close that down. So now we have these into a group, and now we could go back to our first layer and turn on all these layers. Which layer do I have? Oh, there it is. So it's in that very last layer there with the, so we're going to go ahead and click on this, and we're going to press M, and we're going to move this to the fourth layer over here. And then let's click on the fourth layer. So we got all these moved. And I didn't realize that I had that selected still. So we're going to go ahead and click these. Make sure that nothing else is selected. And then let's move these back over here to this layer. Just like that. And let's go here and let's make sure that press T. All right. And make sure everything's alrighty. Okay, now let's go ahead and turn all these layers back on here. Just like that. And let's click on this, and let's go ahead and go to our particle system. Let's go new, and let's call this ornaments. And then we're going to leave it on emitter, and 1000's fine. We're going to click random. We are going to go ahead and turn rotation on just a little bit. We'll mess with the physics here in just a little bit. And we're going to go to vertex group. Render, and we're going to click on group, and we're going to do ornaments 001. And then down here in your timeline, if you click on right click in your timeline, everything just got super slow there. So I'm just going to single that out. So maybe it'll be a little bit more faster. But I'm going to zoom back in here, and we're going to go ahead and press tab, and we're going to go into edit mode, and we're going to go ahead and press W, and we're going to subdivide, and we're going to subdivide this 20 times, and press tab, and then go back out, and then we're going to press Control S to save, and then we're going to just right click somewhere and see what this looks like. And so we're going to go down here to the display because it's being super slow, and I'm going to click on 25%. That way it's not so slow for me. Even 15%. Still moving super slow. So press 0 on your num keypad, and let's go and press G and then Z. Then let's actually press 1. Now I'm going to bring that back down. I'm going to turn all these other layers on because I want this to be brought down some. press 0 on our number keypad. We are going to, so we got display 15%. We're going to move this back to 25%. And we're going to move the size up to, I don't know, like a 0.09. No, we're going to go 0.1. And we'll turn the random size up a bit. We'll add a little bit of brownie into it, 0.02. Let's try that. And we're going to turn the lifetime of these up to like 70. And we're going to raise the number of the emitter to like 8,000 right now. And we are going to scroll down here and let's display 50%. Let's refresh these. Alrighty. And let's press 0 on our number keypad. It's being super slow. So what we are going to do is we are going to come over here. Actually, we're going to go, yeah, we'll do it over here. Close that. And we'll go ahead and put this back to our 3D view. And actually, no, we'll go to our UV image editor and we're going to just put this over here. Let's go down here and let's just put this to 210. And then let's press F12. And as you can see, you'll see all your little ornaments kind of like rain. And that's a pretty good size for them. When we go to do the final render, though, you'll want to make sure that you add, I added, I think, 20,000 to mine. But we'll go ahead and do that. But that looks fine to me right there. And then we just need to remember that we have all our layers turned on when we do this. I'm going to set this back to 1. And you could also come down here and let's see, you got your render, display, your textures. We don't need no texture right now. And we don't see the emitter, so that's fine. So we'll just go ahead and close that tab. We got all this set up. Yeah, that'll be fine. All here, rotation. We can do random on the rotation on both of them. Just a little bit. Let's close that there. And yeah, that's fine right there. We can go to the cache if you want to, and you could bake. Come right here, and you can bake your particles if you want to, and it might be a little bit easier for your computer to do that. But we're not going to mess with that right now, so we'll just leave that up. And let's go back over here. Let's go back to the 3D view, and let's make sure we have everything turned on. So we don't need that. Let's go ahead and let's turn everything on except for this. And let's go ahead and grab, holding down shift and clicking. Let's go ahead and grab these guys. And let's press M and let's move them to the 5th layer. And then that way we have everything what's on this layer. That snowman, tree, what is this? And a cloud. Okay, now we got everything over here that we want rendered on these layers. So all we need to do is turn these guys on. And I could actually, let's click on here. What's on 4? Nothing. So we could actually press M and put these guys on layer. Nope. So we go back to layer 3. And we want to put these guys in layer 4. Sorry about that. So we'll just shift click on all these layers to turn them on. Just like that. And let's press Q and go into front mode. Make sure we got everything in here that we need. So we're just going to set everything up. So to make sure all these layers are turned on down here. And come over here to your render tab because we are done. Now all we need to do is just do the finals of everything. So you want your resolution. I'm doing 1920 by 1280. You could do 1280 by 720 if you want, or whatever size you want. You want to make sure that your resolution is up to 50%. I mean 100%, sorry. You want to change this, your output mode, if you, it's for an animation, but I always do it. So we go to desktop and Christmas, and then Christmas tutorial. And then we could create a new directory and call it renders. And just press accept. And I'm going to do 16-bit compression at 90%. Our sampling. What I do, or what I've been doing a lot here lately is I'll model something and I'll render out some quick views and stuff of it, but for the final render, I'll wait until I go to bed, and then I'll turn this up to like 30,000, and then I will come down to performance, and I will click on progressive refine, and what that will do is it will just progressively render the whole time for 30,000, and I haven't even made it up to 30,000. I think the one that I did for this went halfway. It was like 15,000, and it turned out looking pretty good. So that's what I do most of the time. But if you ain't got time for that and you're trying to push something out really quick, just set this to something like 1,200 samples, and go ahead and just get ready for it, and then hit render, and it will render out your image for you. So if I change this to the UV image editor and I hit rendered, now it will take a super long time, so I'm going to press exit, and I'm not going to render out a full one right now. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about this. And I hope that this tutorial taught you guys a little bit of things. Oh, and make sure that when you go to render this out, though, that you have your particle system set on whatever layer you want. So, like, I don't know, 210. And then you come over here in your render settings. And, like I said, I'll just do a quick render of 75 samples, but I'm going to go ahead and reset this, and I'm going to go over here to this particle system, make sure that you click on it, and I'm going to change this to 15,000, and then come back over here and right click, and then I'm going to press F12. I'm going to make sure I click on render result. Oops. Render result. And I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to put this back down to 50%. And I'm going to press F12. And there you go. You see in the background, and you got some up here, and it looks like it's raining ornaments. Like I said, you probably want a little bit more than that, so you probably want to go up to 20 or 25,000. You just need to be careful when you do them spheres that you don't make too many polys, because it will slow your system down a whole lot. So just be aware of that, and your render times will take super long. So like I said before, I hope this render was good, or this video was good for you. Make sure that's at 100% when you go and render, or else you'll only have half your resolution. And make sure that you change your render samples to something like 1200 or 2000 or something like that. And just be aware that if you don't have the best video card in the world, or you don't have GPU capability, that it probably will render. It will take a long time to render. So maybe you might want to render this out at 50% of that size, not unless you want to do like I said before, and then let it render. And then, like I said, the fireflies, I don't see too many in this. The more samples you do, the less fireflies you get too. But if you do notice that you're getting some, you'll need to stop the render, and you will need to come down here to this clamp direct and clamp indirect and lower this number. Now, the lower the number goes, the more it clamps your light and the more it will darken your scene. So just be aware of that. So like if at these settings right here, if you're getting some fireflies, maybe turn this down to 3 and 3 here, and try that, and try to maybe raise your map resolution up to 1024 if you're still getting a lot of fireflies. Then another thing you'll want to do if you're still getting them is turn off the caustics, because caustics are known to cause fireflies. And then you could go into your lamp, and you could mess with the size over here and the max bounces and stuff to stop the fireflies if you get any. All right, I think that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and have a Merry Christmas and a good New Year, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Please like and subscribe for tons more tutorials, and have a great day.